Hey, what is up, everybody? Cold K78. My videos on my channel are kind of mixed up. This is kind of like my technology division, I would say. First off, I'm going to be talking mobile phones today. And segueing into that, I want to give a shout out to Sneed Mobile Tech. I want to give a shout out to Stetson Doggart. I want to give a shout out to Whistle Out. Carlos Tech. Let's see here. Magic Tech Review. There's a lot of them I watch, and I'll tell you what, I love all you guys, and I love sitting down, and I love listening to all your stuff about the phone industry, which I happen to be very interested in. I've been interested in it for years. And if I'm leaving anybody out, please know that I watch your channels too, because I watch so much YouTube. I've even went out of the way to get a YouTube Premium account because I watch so much YouTube, because I didn't want your videos to be interrupted by these commercials. So that's why I did that. So let's just get started. So I have beta tested a lot of cell phone carriers, let's say within the last 3 to 4 years, and I actually went with the top dog last year. I went with Verizon Wireless, and I went with a Play More plan. So let me give you my experience with Verizon Wireless. I live down in Sarasota, Florida, and if you live in Florida, cell phone service is kind of tough down here with the topography and how the towers are and everything like that. And then they kind of over the years they've been building out the 5G and everything like that, which has led to some outages with Verizon, but I can't complain, because when I tried T-Mobile out, it seemed like they were just always working on their network, and I never had the service that I absolutely had to have. I mean, one of the times was even picking up my daughter from school, and I had to check her in for a car line. And with T-Mobile, I had no service behind a school building, which was absolutely ridiculous, because even with Cricket, I had some service behind there and whatnot. But again, I'm kind of getting away from the company that I want to talk about today. Visible Wireless. If anybody has a question about the new plans, I know that all the top dogs on the internet have covered Visible Wireless, but from what I've noticed, it's just been a few months ago. I want to talk about the present of Visible Wireless. I want to tell you that it seems like they've had a chance to iron out some of their problems. Now, when I talk about iron out some of their problems, it was when people were porting over from the old cloud-based service plans, where they had the higher ping times, over to the Verizon Wireless towers. So I waited a while. I followed the advice of Stetson. I was watching one of his videos. I want to give a shout out to Dennis too. The best cell phone plans podcast, and I was sad to see that come to an end. But hey, much respect, guys. I understand you guys have stuff to do in your personal lives, and believe it or not, I only get to get on here a little bit here and there, because I got my daughter and I got work and stuff like that. So I can definitely understand, and I got some other things in my personal life too I have to attend to. So I try to get as many videos as I can on here. But Dennis actually lives where I used to live. He lives up in Pittsburgh, and you could see by my office area here down in Florida. I think I own like one Tampa Bay Buccaneers hoodie that I had customized, and the rest of my stuff is Pittsburgh. So, but anyways, all right. So I know I'm going all over the place here, and I know I'm not as good as you guys, because man, you guys got your stuff all planned out. I'm kind of like a big shoot. So okay, I got Verizon Wireless postpaid last year because like a lot of the people in the cell phone community, we have to have our priority data. We hate to be slowed down, and it's just kind of like a thing that we have to have because we're so into it. And let's say 90% of the day we're on our phones, and I mean I see everybody with a phone grilled to their face nowadays. All right, so my experience with Verizon was really good. I had even got one of their loyalty discounts. But see, the thing of it is, I'm a single guy on my own cell phone plan, and I thought that at first I was paying, I think, $83 a month, and that was with a $10 auto pay. And even I thought 83 was too high. Then it went as far as with the loyalty discount to take it down to about, I want to say 72, 73, off the top of my head. And I was sitting there and I'm just like, man, with this economy being as rough as it is and you need to use the money for other things, I'm like, is there another way? And I had already been with Verizon prepaid, which, Verizon pretty much owns all the prepaid anymore. They bought Straight Talk. You don't have a choice of what SIM you want to use on Straight Talk anymore. Verizon makes money. They make it hand over fist. I'm telling you, they make money. Because they're getting a cut out of this. Because what there is there's MVNOs. There's the mobile virtual network operators. Okay, and what they do is, hey, I'm Verizon. I'm gonna sell you this bandwidth. This is what you're going to use. Some of them have priority data, which is really cool. And I liked how Stetson pointed that out about US Mobile. I had a pretty good experience on US Mobile. I liked it. It's probably a company I may go back to in the future, but I'm a guy that the area they can improve in is the taxes and the fees and everything like that. That's why I went Visible, okay? And another thing is when you're choosing one of these prepaid plans, you have to make sure that they use the roaming towers that the big three use, okay? So let's be honest, Verizon, you probably have the best service there is because they have so many roaming agreements. Like, I know that when I used to live up in Pittsburgh, West Virginia was a very tough place to get cell phone service, but you would get it with Verizon. Driving through the mountains and everything like that, I've heard friends tell me that, with Verizon, they still had service. It was slow, but they still had service, and you weren't going to have something like that with T-Mobile. So kind of going back into what I'm talking about, I thought about it. I'm like, okay, you know what? I get all these perks with the Play More plan. I get my ESPN, I get my Hulu, I get my Disney. Am I really watching it that much? I'm going to be honest with you. I really wasn't. Did I have the best cell phone service? 1 to 10, a 9.5. Going about an 8 to be realistic. Verizon's not the same company that it was. Had some problems with it. Not as much as T-Mobile, mind you, but I would be in certain places like like a local taco shop around me, not so far from my house, and I noticed that I just couldn't get any data at all. And I'm like, wait a minute, the window's right here, I'm just like, wow, the older Verizon with the LTE or even the 2G would have got service here. And I'm just like, wow, this is really amazing. And even when I switched the LTE, my service wasn't that good, because on the iPhones, you could technically switch your band. Now, you could do that on Samsungs, but you have to actually download like a special app so you can unlock those features, which is a little goofy. I'm not an Android guy. I think the phones are beautiful. I think I'd love to own one, but something always keeps me stuck to Apple because I know you guys have heard this. It just works, and I know you guys are gonna call me a hypocrite watching one of my other videos where I was damning Apple, and I was pissed off about the whole battery scenario. You guys might remember from last December, but it is what it is, that's why I did not get a warranty on my iPhone 13 Pro this time around, because I knew if I wanted a battery changed, I could just go get it fucking changed without going through the hassle, so I ended up doing it that way. So, back to Verizon. So I was questioning myself. I'm like, okay, I'm in a local Walmart store, and I'm towards the middle of the store, okay, and I'm like, wow, my data doesn't work, and I'm on this postpaid plan, I'm on the best that you have to offer right now, and I'm like, okay, I'm a homebody, I really don't go out that much besides work and hanging out with my daughter and stuff like that. I'm like, do I really need a single guy? Do I really need to be paying $73 for a cell phone? And I got about maybe $200 more left on paying off my iPhone, and I'm just like, wow, I could be using that extra money to pay this off, and and then the thought came to me. I was like, okay, when I first tried out Visible, when they were going through their cloud servers, I didn't have the the best experience. And I was kind of like, you know what? Whatever. I poured out of this. I lose my loyalty discount, whatever. But you know what? I have to focus on ways to save money. So people were having problems with Visible again, like I said, coming over from the old plans to the new plans. I personally can't comment on that because I don't know, because I wasn't trying to convert over to a SIM or eSIM from those older Visible plans. But however, what I can tell you is this. I ported over from Verizon postpaid to Visible's prepaid $45 plan. I made that plan $40 because if you are a PayPal member, you get that discount. So my cell phone bill was just $40. That's it. No surprises, nothing like that. $40, taxes and fees included. I'm like, okay, I like this. That's perfect. So I'm going to kind of go into telling you what my experience has been. So the port out process wasn't difficult more than it was weird. I'm a guy that's really on top of the whole porting process because I know how to do all that stuff. Cheers, by the way. Coffee's still in the afternoon. Gotta love it. Hazelnut's pretty good. So I called Verizon and I said, did you guys get my port out request from Visible? There really isn't a port out request, so to say, because they're on the same network, and that's what the guy was trying to make me aware of. Now, given I called the second day after, I was a little impatient. I wanted to get the ball rolling, but that's okay because us cell phone people are a little impatient when it comes time for something like that. So the guy at Verizon, let's just say I went through about 3 people. The last guy was really helpful. I says, please don't put me on hold anymore. I just want to know what the hell's going on. He says, he goes, I got news for you. He says, I do see that you want to go over to another carrier. He goes, so it should be good. Visible's a little annoying because, and this is how they save money, so I can't complain. Visible saves money because they don't have customer service, they don't have brick and mortar stores, yada yada yada. It's been covered by the big cell phone carriers. Shout out to EB3, Edward Blocky III. He's really good too. Probably over this message, these guys are going to start coming into my head, and I'm Magic Check Review too, man. I'll tell you what, as well as a YouTuber, he's a really good guy. We both are diabetic. He was helping me on some diabetic supplies he had, and it kind of changed me for the better with everything that I'm going through. So really good guy on a personal level. EB3, I was on. Edward Blocky III. I was on one of his chats one night. Me and him were talking great things about cell phones. Stetson helped me out a time or two when I was with AT&T. I was asking him some questions. Like I said, Dennis, the guy from Pittsburgh, that's freaking awesome. And I'll tell you what, buddy, you were looking good with the shaved head look, man. Just go with it. Get the legendary beard going. That's all good. So okay, I'm over with Visible at this point. And alright, so my signal where I'm sitting right now can fluctuate. It can go from LTE to 5G to even ultra wideband. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a speed test on LTE. We're going to run that right now. So we're doing good. I mean, we're like 15 megabits per second, going up to about 70. I mean, we're doing good. Here's our upload test right now. Okay, so in the end of this test, I got 112, which is really good. So the upload's always going to be fishy. I'm getting like 3 to 4 megabits per second, but it's all I really need. I mean, I think I got that with Verizon too, but okay, wait a minute. Now I'm on ultra wideband. I know you guys probably can't see that, and I apologize, but I'll run the test on ultra wideband. Give me 1 second. Yeah, from where I'm sitting right now, I'm happy. I mean, my download speeds are like 38 to 40 megabits per second. I mean, you can't have a problem with that. That's pretty good. I am getting Visible off. Okay, so like I said, my upload's about 5 right now. About oh no, it's going up to 6. It's going, as you can see, it's going up to 6, which is really good. All right, so as you can see, the Visible $45 plan, they tell you that they have 50 megabytes of premium data, and they're not lying, that they do. Okay, only problems I have had with Visible is sending a picture message at times with the upload speed. It's only happened a few times. I mean, I can live with that because you guys want to kind of know the pros and cons of what's going on. So I called them one night, and I guess they said that they were, no, I called them, I'm sorry, chat. So I was chatting with them one night, and they said, you know, we're going to go ahead, we're going to reset something for you. Things seemed like they had got a little bit better. I can really recommend Visible. And I know this is no shot to Verizon, because believe me, they got those people that really want their premium data, and they'll get those people that are going to pay like, you know, $80 a line. And then there's people that are just trying to really save their money and tighten the belt and watch, and you know, they're not out every day, they're not traveling or anything like that, and I think Visible is good for you. They do have the Verizon roaming agreements, but just understand that your speed is going to be slower on those roaming towers than it is on the Visible Verizon towers, so you may want to keep that in mind, but that's okay. And I'll tell you what, the only thing I want to do when I'm away from a coverage area, I'm going to tell you guys about it. Ring, ring. Hello? Hey, is everything going okay? Sure, yeah. Hey, I can make a phone call, or I could get a phone call to save my life. And that's all I want to do, folks. So if you're thinking about Visible, do it. Visible is a pretty good decision. You're not going to have any problems if, now with me, I'm still stubborn. I want the SIM card. I have tried out eSIM. I think as of right now, eSIM's a little bit of a pain, but I know once I do it, I know it's going to be the easiest thing since sliced bread, but I'm still staying where I'm staying because a lot of the times I like to try out old phones and I like to have a physical SIM card. So that's, you know, that's completely up to you. So I just ordered a new SIM card, ported my number. I was up and running that day. The whole process only took about 2 days. Visible was really good. They send the card in the mail over, you know, overnight. So yeah, I mean, saying that, and like I said, the only reason I'm making this video is because I've noticed that no one has been talking about Visible Wireless for a while. I will say Visible has really upped their game. Everything's working pretty good. The data speeds are amazing. I think you guys are really going to enjoy yourself. Hey, I hope everybody had a great Christmas, or whatever you all celebrate. Happy holidays. Hope you're with your loved ones and everybody's healthy. And this has been Cold K78 talking about Visible Wireless.